Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to explore one of the most remarkable true stories in history, the story of an orphan who changed the world in just 23 years. It is the story of a man whose name is remembered with love, respect, and devotion by billions. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. His life is a journey of faith, patience, compassion, and transformation, proving that greatness is not inherited by wealth or status, but earned through purpose, character, and divine guidance. Born in the city of Makkah in the year 570 CE, Muhammad P.B.U.H. came into a world divided by tribal wars, inequality, and ignorance. His father, Abdullah, passed away before he was born, and his mother, Amina, died when he was only 6 years old. From a very young age, he tasted the bitterness of loneliness and loss. Yet, destiny had chosen him for a mission that would change the course of human history. He was raised first by his grandfather Abdul Muttalib and later by his uncle Abu Talib. Though he had no parents to guide him, his character was shaped by truth, kindness, and wisdom far beyond his years. As a young boy, he worked as a shepherd, caring for the sheep of others. This simple job taught him patience, responsibility, and empathy, qualities that would later define his leadership. Even as a child, people in Makkah noticed something extraordinary about him. They called him Al-Amin, meaning the trustworthy, because he never lied, cheated, or broke a promise. In a society full of corruption and dishonesty, his truthfulness stood out like light in darkness. When he grew older, he began working as a merchant. His honesty and fairness in trade made him respected by everyone who dealt with him. It was during this time that a noble and wise woman named Khadijah noticed his character and integrity. She offered him to manage her trade and later proposed marriage. Their marriage was built on mutual respect and love. Khadijah was not only his wife, but his greatest supporter and comfort in the most difficult moments of his life. At the age of 40, while meditating in the cave of Hira, something miraculous happened. The angel Gabriel appeared to him with the first revelation from Allah, commanding him to read. These words marked the beginning of his mission as the final messenger of God. But with this divine message came immense responsibility and hardship. He was to guide humanity from ignorance to truth, from injustice to justice, and from darkness to light. When he first shared the message of Islam, the people of Makkah reacted with disbelief and hostility. They could not accept the idea that all people were equal before one God. The powerful tribes feared losing their influence and wealth. They mocked him, insulted him, and tortured his followers. Yet despite the pain and rejection, he never gave up. His patience and determination inspired everyone around him. He continued to preach with kindness and wisdom, teaching that Islam is a religion of peace, mercy, and unity. In the face of constant persecution, the small group of believers stood firm. Among them were men and women who sacrificed everything for their faith. Some were tortured, others were killed, but their hearts remained strong. The Prophet P.B.U.H. guided them with love and compassion, always reminding them that this life is temporary and that true success lies with Allah. His example showed that faith is not just belief, but action, patience in suffering, forgiveness in anger, and hope in despair. When life in Makkah became unbearable, Allah commanded him to migrate to Medina. This journey, known as the Hira, was not just a move from one city to another, it was the beginning of a new chapter in human civilization. In Medina, the Prophet P.B.U.H. built the first Islamic state based on justice, equality, and mutual respect. He united tribes that had fought for generations and created a brotherhood between the migrants and the locals. For the first time, people of different races and backgrounds lived as one community under the guidance of divine law. In Medina, the Prophet P.B.U.H. became not only a spiritual leader, but also a statesman, judge, and commander, his wisdom in dealing with every situation was unmatched. He established principles that today form the foundation of modern governance: equality before the law, protection of human rights, care for the poor, and justice for all. He taught that no Arab is superior to a non-Arab, and no white is superior to a black, except by piety and good deeds. Despite facing enemies on all sides, the Prophet P.B.U.H. always preferred peace over war. When forced to defend his people, he did so with discipline and mercy. His treatment of his enemies was so noble that even those who fought against him became his followers. The battles he led were never for conquest or revenge, but for the defense of truth and freedom to worship one God. He forgave those who once tried to destroy him, teaching the world that forgiveness is stronger than hatred. One of the most powerful moments in his life came when he returned to Makkah, victorious after years of exile and struggle. The same city that once rejected him was now at his feet. But instead of seeking revenge, he forgave everyone. Standing before the people who had persecuted him, he said, "Go, for you are free." His mercy on that day changed countless hearts, and Makkah accepted Islam peacefully. This moment showed the true greatness of his character, a man with absolute power choosing forgiveness over punishment. In just 23 years, he transformed Arabia from a land of chaos and ignorance into a society of knowledge, faith, and morality. He ended tribal warfare, uplifted women's rights, and established laws that protected the weak and respected the dignity of every human being. He taught compassion for orphans, kindness to neighbors, honesty in trade, and humility in success. His teachings continue to inspire millions to live with purpose, honesty, and compassion. Though he had no army of wealth or throne of gold, his message conquered hearts across the world. He lived simply, slept on a mat, mended his own clothes, and ate modestly. Even at the height of his power, he never forgot the pain of being an orphan or the struggles of the poor. He would share whatever he had and would often say, "The best among you are those who are best to others." His humility was as profound as his wisdom. When his mission was complete and the message of Islam spread across the land, he delivered his final sermon, a message that still echoes through time. He reminded humanity to worship one God, to treat one another with love and fairness, and to remember that all people are equal. He warned against oppression, greed, and injustice, and emphasized the sanctity of life, property, and honor. His final words were not of pride, but of peace and unity. Shortly after that, the Prophet P.B.U.H. passed away, leaving behind no wealth, no palaces, and no worldly power, only a legacy that reshaped the entire world. Within a few decades after his passing, his message spread across continents, reaching Africa, Asia, and Europe. His name is mentioned every day by billions of lips in prayers, in love, and in remembrance. His life remains a perfect example for anyone who seeks truth, purpose, and peace. What makes his story truly extraordinary is not only what he achieved, but how he achieved it. From being an orphan with no wealth or influence to becoming the greatest leader in history, his journey is a living proof that faith and character can move mountains. He changed hearts without force, ruled minds without fear, and united nations with love. His teachings continue to guide people through the challenges of life, offering wisdom that remains timeless. The story of the Prophet Muhammad P.B.U.H. is not just a tale of history, it is a message for all of humanity. It reminds us that no matter how humble your beginnings, you can still rise to greatness through patience, integrity, and belief in God. His 23-year mission turned darkness into light, despair into hope, and ignorance into knowledge. It is the most powerful example of how one man's faith and determination can change the destiny of the entire world. As we reflect on his life, we are reminded that true success is not in wealth or fame, but in service to humanity. The orphan who changed the world left behind a message that continues to inspire generations, a message of peace, mercy, and justice. His life is a beacon for all who seek truth, reminding us that through compassion and steadfast faith, one person can indeed change the course of history forever.